All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to yoga. Thanks for joining me tonight. We'll go ahead and get started, just coming to a comfortable seated position. Just make sure you've got a little bit of space, a comfy place to stretch out here. You got a yoga mat, that's great. If not, just make sure that you're somewhere where you can sit comfortably. So we'll cross the legs. And then as always, we'll just start by rooting down into the earth. So take a minute to press the sit bones into the ground. And then draw your spine up here in a nice long line. So from the top of the head all the way down to the sit bones. Take a minute just to give the shoulders a little roll back and down. Then we'll make sure the palms are turned over, facing up towards the ceiling. And so as we arrive on our mat here tonight, we'll start to bring our attention to our body, to our breath. So just starting to feel the chest rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. And take a moment here to check in with your body, notice how it's feeling today. If you guys are like me, maybe you're getting a little bit stiff from the colder weather. I know I really need to do yoga today. Just stretch everything out and balance out the body. So let's take a few more breaths here in this comfortable seated place. When you're ready, we'll start to draw out our cycles of breath. So with your next inhale, feel the breath rolling in through the nose, filling up the lungs. Send it all the way down to the belly. Then feel the belly rise from the bottom to the top, filling up completely. When you're ready to exhale, just allow belly to soften, chest softens, and then send the breath back out through the nose. Good. We'll take 3 more like that. Big, deep, slow inhale. And when you're ready, a long, slow, drawn out exhale. And so it's really important here when we start our practice to really slow down our breath. Make sure that we're nourishing our entire body here with oxygen. Just taking 1 more deep cycle of breath at your own pace. And after the next exhale, when you're ready, slowly start to open the eyes here. We'll begin our class nice and slow with some gentle, easy postures here sitting on our mat. So let's just switch the legs here. So just changing whichever one was in front. Put that one to the words back. And then again, find that nice long, tall spine. And from here, we'll just take the left ear over to the left shoulder. So just a nice little gentle stretch on the neck here. So feeling it down the right side as you're just allowing the left ear to reach towards that shoulder. As our exhale, we'll come right back up to center, and then we'll go to the other side. So right ear to right shoulder this time. And come back up to center. Okay, now from here, we'll do a little crossover with the arms of eagle arms. So let's start by sweeping them up to the side. And then we'll take the right arm underneath the left. So crossing out the elbows here. And then you can bring your hands to interlock, or you can grab on for opposite shoulders. So whatever variation here feels comfortable in your body, go ahead and find that. Then we'll hold for 3 big breaths. So just noticing how that feels, especially through the shoulders and the upper back. And feel really good, maybe like you're giving yourself a big hug if you're reaching for the opposite shoulders. Take 1 more breath wherever you are. And then with our next exhale, we'll unravel the arms, draw them back up by your side, capital T position. And then we're going to do eagle arms in the opposite direction. So left arm coming under and across this time, maybe interlocking the hands or reaching for opposite shoulders. Whatever feels good in your body here. Make sure that you've got your heart lifted. Nice, long, tall back body here. Good. And wherever you are, we'll take 2 more breaths. Make sure you keep those long, slow inhales and exhales. And start to release and unravel the arms here. We'll draw the arms up to the side, and then here, turn the palms up. Sweep those arms up overhead, reach for the sky. Draw the palms together. Maybe just lift the chin for a moment here. Big breath. On the exhale, start to bring the gaze back in front of you. Draw the hands back to heart center, and then release. And we'll come into our wide-legged fold. So if you have a yoga mat, come to the side where you've got length, so you can spread your feet nice and wide apart. Good, so we'll start here by really stretching out the legs and then taking those shoulders up, back, and down. Root down to those sit bones. So really make sure you're grounded into your mat or the floor. And then take a minute to wiggle out the toes. I like to take a few circles through the ankle. You go in one direction and the other. Wiggle those toes. And then when you're ready to make your way into the stretch here, just moving nice and slow. Listen to your body. So our first variation here is just to put our hands on the mat in front, keeping our upper body nice and tall. And hold here and focus on your breath. And if you do want to start to come a little bit deeper, no rush, but if you want to come forward, we'll slowly start to walk those hands in front of you. Good, so just moving your hands a little bit forward, that allows your body to come forward, and that'll deepen the stretch through the underside of the legs. So just finding what feels good here. We've got quite a few breaths to work into this stretch, so it's not a rush to come too deep. Now, if you do want to come down deeper, you can lower your elbows to the ground. So we're propping ourselves up on forearms. Just press those palms into the ground. And if you do come into a deeper variation of the fold, just allow your head to look down. So it's really important in our folds that we're not wrenching our neck and looking up. That can be pretty strenuous on the neck and the shoulders. So just allow your head to come forward. Taking a couple more deep breaths here. Maybe if it feels like you can bring your head down even further, you have like a blanket or a pillow, you can always prop it up on your prop. So with our next exhale, we'll just walk ourselves up a little bit. So not fully coming out of the stretch, but just coming so that we can straighten our arms here. And then we'll add in a side stretch for the upper body. So start by planting the left hand. On the inhale, squeeze that right arm up, reach for the sky. Nice big stretch, find length from the right fingertips, all the way down that arm. And then bring the right hand down to the mat. We're gonna switch it out here. So sweeping the left arm up, maybe looking over to the left side or up towards the ceiling. Feel length down the left side of the body. And then bring that hand back down. And from here, we'll slowly start to come out of this pose. Moving nice and slow, gently starting to draw our legs together. So when you're ready, just bending the knees. And give yourself a nice big hug round through the back body, tuck the chin. Just holding here for 2 breaths, giving ourselves a nice big hug. Big inhale, slow exhale. Then we'll start to come over into tabletop, so meeting on our hands and knees. Good, finding that good alignment in tabletop, so we want to have our knees and our hips in line, our shoulders and our wrists. So once you've found that position, just start to wake up our spine a little bit. So we're going to move through cat-cows. So we'll start here by rounding the back, tucking the chin in, arch the back body like a cat. And then from here, we'll start to move into cow pose. So for cow pose, we let the belly drop. Start to bring the head up, maybe lift the chin. Big breath in when we do cow. And then back into cat pose, exhaling, rounding that back body. Think about really hugging that belly button in. Great, so then we'll flow back into cow. So this is a nice, gentle pose here, moving between our cat cows. Moving nice and slow just to wake up the body. And feel free just to flow at your own pace, taking a couple more cycles on each side. Great, from here we're gonna come down onto our belly. So just start by walking the hands forward. And then we're in a little half plank here. So lowering your belly down, you can bend at the elbows, come all the way down. Good, once you come down to the mat, we'll just take a moment here to rest the forehead down. So you can stack the hands, allow forehead to rest. Take 2 breaths here. When you're ready, we'll pick the head up here and start to bring your right arm out to the side of the mat. So bringing that arm to about a 45-degree angle. And then place the left hand just closer to your left shoulder. We'll start to roll over onto our right side of the body. Good, so your head can rest down, cheek or forehead coming to the mat. And then think about stacking the legs here. Left hand can be used to keep your balance. And you can hold here, or final option is to bend that top leg and plant the foot behind you. So that might feel really good. You can play around with how far you roll over onto that right arm. So you're in control of the stretch here, deepening it if you like, or coming out of it. Whatever feels best. We'll take 2 more breaths on this side. Big inhale. Long, slow exhale. Gently, we'll come back over onto the front body. So rolling back over, we're gonna switch sides. Start to bring the left arm out. So you can see I'm not quite at capital T, I'm bringing that arm up a little bit. And then when you're ready to roll over, use your right hand to push into the ground. Roll over, stack the legs. And then if you want to bring that top leg up, you can just plant the foot behind you. Hold for a couple of breaths. And with our next exhale, we'll roll back over, back onto the front body. From here, we're gonna find our Superman pose. So we'll do 2 rounds of it. Just bring your hands by your side. Allow the fingertips to reach towards the feet. And then we'll rest our chin on the mat. So when we go into it, we'll take a big inhale. And then on the exhale, we'll lift our arms and legs. So here we go, big breath in. On the exhale, lift the arms, lift the legs, straighten everything out. Make sure you've got your core engaged here. Just make sure that you're not wrenching on your neck. So nice long line here through the back body. See if you can lift those hands, lift those feet a little bit higher. And lower down. Good. Come down to the mat, allow your cheek or forehead to rest for a cycle of breath. And we're going to go through 1 more round. I always like to challenge myself here on the second round of airplane. So option to challenge yourself is to bring your legs right tight together. So from the top of the legs all the way down to the feet, making a nice long line. Don't have to, but if you want to challenge yourself, you can join me. So big breath in here. On the exhale, lift the arms, lift the legs. Nice strong bodies here, nice long line. Take another breath, see if you can lift the legs, lift the hands a little bit more. And then lower back down. Awesome job. Just allow your body to rest. Take a breath. Our next pose, we'll come into our child's pose. So bringing those knees nice and wide apart. Let the big toes come together, and then we'll just sit our hips all the way back onto the heels. Before we bring our head down, make sure you lengthen those arms. So straightening the arms, press the palms into the ground, and then bringing chin or forehead down to your mat. So pausing here, we'll hold for about 4 breaths in our child's pose. I like to add in a side stretch for the upper body, but you don't have to. So if you want to stay just as you are, just hold there, focus on your breath. If you want to join me for a side stretch, we'll walk the right hands over to the right side. So keeping the lower body where it is and just noticing how that changes the stretch. So really feeling it down the left side of the body. And we're going to go to the opposite side. So this time walking the hands to the left side and feeling the stretch go down our right side of the body, all the way down to the low back. Hold for another breath here. And then slowly begin to walk the hands back to center. Pause here for one last breath. And then from here, we'll slowly start to press ourselves coming up out of our child's pose. Let's come back through tabletop. Then we're going to find a downward dog. So start to tuck the toes here, send the hips high. Good, really bend through the knees. Take a minute to pedal out your feet. Walk the dog. This is what we call it when we're pedaling out our feet in our downward dog, just walking it out. Take a minute to check in with the upper body, so making sure that our neck is relaxed, that we've got our shoulder blades rolling down the back, hands engaged, pressing into the mat. We should be making our body into kind of a V shape here, upside down V, I guess, onto our mat. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to take little steps coming all the way up to the hands. Good, taking as many steps as you need to come there. Then just allow your upper body to dangle here. So shoulders and neck relaxed. Backs of the hands can come down to the ground. Or you can grab on the opposite elbows. Make sure you keep a little bit of a bend in the knees here, so not hyperextending, walking those legs out like I just did. Keep a little bit of a bend there. You can maybe find a little bit of a sway from side to side. And if you did grab onto opposite elbows, go ahead and just release that grip. Okay, we're going to find a halfway lift through the back body. So just bringing the hands up on the front of the shins, straightening that back, looking out in front, and then lower back down. Let everything go. We're going to move into the gorilla pose. So just picking up our feet one at a time. Slide your hands underneath the feet. So we've got our palms up. Then we're just stepping on the hands. So big bend in the legs here. And then if your feet are on the hands, you can go ahead and just let the arms fall out to the side. So elbows coming to either side of the body. Make sure your neck and shoulders are relaxed. If you can't quite reach down to your feet, you can bring your hands behind, behind the hamstrings or the knees, just interlocking there. So find a place that feels good to hold. Focus on the breath. And then we'll start to release here. So from our fold, we'll plant the hands. We're just going to walk our feet back. Then come back into downward dog. Pause here for 2 breaths. All right, from here, we'll step forward with our left foot, bringing it between the hands. Lower the right knee down to the mat, untuck the toes. Okay, so we'll find a low lunge. So we've got our back knee resting on the mat. Now from here, we'll start to sweep the arms up overhead. So reaching for the sky here, nice strong upper body. Really think of hugging your belly button in your nice strong core. Awesome. From here, we're going to start to come forward. Bring the right hand down and reach that left arm up. Good, nice big stretch for the left arm, the left shoulder. You can look over to the left side, maybe looking up if it feels good. And then lower left hand back down. Now from here, we'll just start to sit our hips back. So straightening that front leg as we sit the hips back and pick up the toes of the left foot. So this is our half splits. Feeling that stretch through the back of the left leg. You can use your hands for balance here. If it feels good to go up on fingertips, or you can make fists, that's an option. Just finding wherever you need to be here to stretch. So sometimes it's a matter of kind of playing around with how far you want to do that. Take one more breath, and then we'll start to come out of it here. So bending into the front leg. When you're ready, plant your hands on either side of the foot. We'll tuck the right toes, lift that knee up, and then just step it back. We'll be back in our downward dog. You can take a minute here just to pedal the feet. We'll go through that on the opposite side. So step forward with the right foot this time. We'll lower left knee down to the mat and tuck the toes. Good, when you're ready, we'll start to lift the hands up here so they can come to the knee maybe to start, or reaching right up, sweeping them overhead. Really lifting here through the upper body, fingertips to the sky. Good, we'll start to come forward, bringing the left hand down to the inside of the right foot, and reach that right arm up this time. Good, nice long line through the right side of the body. From here, bring the right hand back down, and then we'll find our half splits on this side. So just starting to sit our hips back, lift the front toes. Keep a little bit of a bend here in that extended leg. Just finding wherever that stretch feels good. Focus on keeping that breath flowing. All right, we'll start to bend into the front knee again. Plant the hands on either side of the right foot. Tuck the left toes. When you're ready, pick up that knee, and then we'll step that right foot back. Good, bring it back to downward dog. Walk the feet out here. All right, we'll step forward with our left foot. This time we're going to keep our back leg lifted. So just turning your back foot, pivoting. So that's in line with the back edge of our mat. And then we'll sweep the arms up here. So finding our warrior one pose. So nice deep lunge. We've got our feet perpendicular to each other. And then really lifting through the heart, reaching those arms up. Nice strong warrior poses. Now from here, I'm going to turn over to my window. So finding warrior two now. Just sinking a little bit deeper, reaching the arms long. Good. All right, from here, option to reverse the warrior. So turning left palm up and just reaching up and over. Awesome job. Now come back to warrior two. From here, we'll slowly start to turn our hips back towards the front. So you might need to bring the front foot a little, or sorry, back foot closer. Reach the arms up here. This is our high lunge. Awesome. From here, we're going to start to step forward, come up to the top of the mat, and then we're just going to sit back down into our chair pose. So really bending through the knees. Ooh. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Sink it back here, bend through the knees, lower the hips down. And reaching out, strong arms. And then from here, find a fold. So just around through the back body, let the upper body dangle. When you're ready, we'll come back into downward dog. So planting the hands Stepping back, take a minute here to walk the feet out. And we're going to repeat that on the opposite side. So we'll step our right foot forward between the hands. When you're ready, start to pivot that back foot. Good, sweep the arms up here, rise up, warrior two. Sorry, I jumped the gun. We want to do warrior one first. Okay, so reaching those arms up, we got our hips towards our front foot. Awesome. Holding here in warrior one. Take another cycle of breath. Okay, now we're going to find warrior two. So turning that back foot so that it's parallel with the back edge of the mat. Start to sink into that front leg, maybe a little deeper. Reach the arms up on either side. Good, take a breath, maybe sink a bit deeper. We'll turn our right palm up. Reversing our warrior, so sweeping the right arm up, left hand can come down the back body. Maybe a little up if that feels okay on the neck. All right, let's start to come back out of it here. So starting to turn our hips towards the front of the mat. Maybe stepping forward here, lift up the back heel. Good, so we come back into that high lunge. Sweep the arms up. And then we're gonna step the left foot back up to the front and sit those hips back here, chair pose. Good, I'll come back so you can see me better. So really sinking our hips down, bending through the knees. First variation is arms out in front, or you can lift them up so they're reaching up towards the ceiling. One more breath here. On the exhale, round the back body, find that fold. Awesome job. One more fold. We're going to start to roll back up. Come to standing. Just going to adjust my camera here so that you can see more of me. All right, so we'll do a couple balancing poses. Our first one is going to be our tree pose. So we'll start with our feet grounded into the mat. So take a minute just to press those feet down. And then we'll roll our shoulders back, palms forward. Just take a big breath here. Long, slow exhale. Good, so when we move into tree pose, we're going to be picking up one foot at a time. So we'll start with the right foot. So as we start to pick up that right foot, just maybe lifting the heel, shift the weight into the left. Good, once you feel like you're balanced here, your hands can come onto your hips, or they can come to heart center. So this is our first variation of tree. So listen to your body. If that feels like it's enough for your balance, you can stay right here. Maybe you'll eventually move that foot up the leg. Maybe one day it'll come all the way up to the thigh. And our final variation is to reach our arms up, growing our tree. Reach the arms up overhead. We'll take one more breath here. And then we'll slowly start to come out of this pose. So release the arms, release the legs. Good, stand here in mountain pose, nice, tall, strong pose. Exhale it out. Good, we'll repeat on the other side. So when you're ready, bringing hands onto hips. Just starting to pick up our left heel. And then bringing that left foot to the inside of the right ankle. So first variation is here, hands can come to heart center. Find your balance. You can choose to just hold where you are, or maybe eventually drawing the left foot up. And then wherever you come to, just take a minute to hold and breathe. Hands can stay on hips. They can be at heart center, or you can grow your tree up here, reaching for the sky. One more breath. On the exhale, we'll start to bring the feet down, hands down. Take one more breath and onto pose. And release. Good. From here, we're going to do one more balancing pose. We'll find our eagle pose. So just like we did at the start with those crossed arms, those are our eagle arms. So we're going to use that variation here. We'll start with the right arm underneath. So go ahead, bring right arm underneath the left. And then you can interlock the hands, grab for opposite shoulders. Now the tricky part here is we're going to bring the legs into it. So once you've got your arms somewhere, Start to shift the weight into the left foot. Pick up the right leg here. So we're just going to cross our legs now. So this is a super tricky one. If you just want to stand and do the upper body, that's totally fine. You can play around with it. You know, I'm really testing my balance here tonight. Take one more breath. We'll start to come out here. Release the right foot. Sweep the arms up, reach for the sky. Good. On the exhale, we'll switch. So bring that left arm underneath the right this time. Then once you're ready to bring the legs into it, we'll shift our weight to the right foot. And then lift the left leg up and over. Okay, bending the knees here, sinking down, finding our balance in this pose. Take another breath. And then on the exhale, rising back out, uncross the legs and prop the arms. Sweep the arms up tall, reach for the sky. Then exhale. Good, we'll turn the face to the top of our mat again. Let's come down into forward fold. Just let the upper body completely dangle. From here, we'll bring our hands down, so bend those knees, step it back here, finding our downward dog. And just taking 2 long, full breaths in downward dog. When you're ready to start to come out of that pose, we'll just come down into our tabletop. So finding our hands and knees. Then we're going to do a nice deep stretch here for the hips, finding our lizard pose. So we'll keep the hands planted into the mat. From here, just step the left foot forward. So the goal is to bring that left foot to the outside of the left hand. So both hands on the inner part of that. Left foot. And this is our first variation of lizard. So you can choose to hold just where you are. Stay here, focus on the breath. But if you do want to start to deepen this pose, just start by tucking the right toes under and then starting to inch that right knee back. So eventually maybe extending your right leg and allow the top of the foot to rest on the mat. And then have your hands pressed into the top of the mat here, supporting yourself. So this is a really deep stretch. So make sure that you listen to your body here. If something feels too intense or it's not comfortable, if you came into this extension, just go ahead and kind of work your way out. So nothing wrong with coming back to this original position here. Wherever you are, we're going to hold for 3 more breaths in this stretch. If you can come into this extended variation and you feel like you want to deepen it even more, the next option is to start to allow the left knee to come out to the side, roll onto the outside of the foot. Maybe one day you'll reach that left arm back and grab onto the right toes. This one takes years and years of practice. So wherever you are, just hold and breathe. Take 1 more breath. And we'll slowly start to come on over through both. So if you're here, start by tucking the right toes and then just inching that knee forward. Good, once you come back to where we started, just bring the right knee back. We'll come into tabletop. Now from here, we'll take a narrow-legged child's pose. So bring the knees together and then just sit the hips back around through the back body. For this one, we'll bring our arms by our side, palms up. And just round through the shoulders. Top of the head or forehead can come down to the ground. Take 1 more breath here. As we're ready to come out, we'll find our way back into tabletop. Now we're going to do lizard on the opposite side. So just start by bringing the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Good. So this is our first variation of lizard. So hold here for a couple of breaths. Start to notice how that feels through the right leg. You can stay where you are if you want to extend it. We'll just start to bring the left leg long on the mat. So you can slowly inch the foot towards the back of the mat, and then allow the top of the foot to rest. And holding here, focusing on sending that breath all the way down into the hip joints. If you've got your hands pressed wide into the mat, make sure that those fingers are spread wide apart. Lift through the chest here. Take a big breath in. Exhale, release. Couple more breaths in this pose. So stay wherever you are. Option to deepen it if you want to start to roll onto the outside of the right foot or the right knee. Maybe one day finding that extension. Wherever you are, taking one more breath. Now, as you're ready to slowly start to come up in this pose, you have your back leg extended. Just start to tuck those toes, and then slowly come forward here. So just inching that knee a little bit at a time. Once you feel like you can bring the right knee back, we'll come right back into tabletop. From here, just let the hips sway from side to side. Beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna turn over. So we're sitting. Make sure you've got some space to stretch the legs out here. So just give the feet a little wiggle out. Now from here, we'll pick up our left leg. So bending it, and then just crossing it over the right. Good, so once you cross that leg over, we're gonna start to find our twist with the upper body over to the left side. So bringing left hand down, back behind you, and then the right hand can come across. So it can hook around that knee, or it can come on the inside here with the elbow. So it just depends wherever it feels good for your body here. So find a place that you can hold, focus on the breath. Then as we breathe in, think about extending through the spine. On the exhale, maybe twisting a little bit deeper. So if it feels okay to look over that left shoulder, bring the gaze over to that side. Take 2 more breaths in our twist. With our next exhale, we'll slowly start to bring that upper body back to center. Once your shoulders are square, you can unravel the legs. We'll just pause here with both legs extended for a moment. We'll start to make our way into the opposite twist. So this time bending the right leg, planting that foot across the body here. So keeping our left leg extended, and then starting to turn over to the right. So either using your elbow to hook around the knee or bringing it to the inner part of that leg. Start to look over the right shoulder this time. So when I say finding length, I think about lifting through the chest and the heart, making sure we've got a nice long whole spine, and then twisting over to the right. And take another breath. Good, on the exhale, we'll slowly start to bring ourselves back to center. So uncrossing the legs, straightening them up nice and long. Pause here for 1 more breath. Now we'll keep our right leg extended. I'm just gonna turn a little bit so everybody can see here. We're gonna start to bend the left leg, but this time allowing the part of the left foot to come to the inner right side. So we've got our knee kind of out to the side. Good, now once we're in this stretch, we've got our legs in good position. Start to bring our shoulders so that they're in line with that extended leg. From here, sweep the arms up, reaching tall for the sky. And then we'll bring the hands down. So making sure you can grab on either behind the thigh or calf, or if you've got lots of flexibility, maybe your hand will come down to that leg, reaching for the toes. So finding our stretch here, really feeling it through the underside of the right leg. And slowing the breath down. Take one more breath. When you're ready, we'll slowly start to come back up. So if you did pull forward, gently lift the chest. Good, come to center, and when you're ready, turning the upper body. Now we'll switch into the other side. So this time the left leg is extended, bend the right leg, and we'll bring the sole of the right foot on the inner thigh of the left. Now again, this time start by just squaring yourself in line with that extended leg. Reach the arms up. And then we'll start to find our fold here. So whether you're grabbing behind the thighs, calf, or towards the toes, just allow that upper body to start to come forward. So you might be somewhere like this. Maybe over time, you'll start to bring the chest a bit closer. Maybe one day, forehead will come all the way down to the leg. Take one more breath. And we'll start to lift our upper body back up. And when you're ready, we'll draw both soles of the feet together this time. So finding our butterfly pose, bring those soles of the feet together, just let the knees come out wide. So to deepen this stretch, you can play around with how close your feet are to the body. So if they're a little bit further away, you might feel like that's a gentler variation, so you can stay right here. If you want to deepen it, just start to bring the feet in closer. And just like we do in all of our seated poses, give those shoulders a roll back. Straighten the back body here. I like to think of a line from the top of my head down to those sit bones. Hands can just rest on the knees, palms facing up, or you can be grabbing onto the lower part of the legs with the feet. Wherever you are, taking a nice big breath in through the nose. Feel that breath going down, filling up the lungs, the belly. When you're ready to exhale, allow the belly to soften, chest soften. Good, two more just like that. After the next exhale, we'll slowly start to come down onto our mat. So moving nice and slow. Let's allow the upper body to come all the way down. Keep the bend in the legs. Plant your feet into the ground. And then just allow the arms to rest by your sides. Now from here, we'll keep those legs bent. Pick up the feet and just draw the knees in towards the chest. You can interlock those hands over top of the legs. I like to do a little rock from side to side. I can feel like a good little massage for the back body. Now from here, keep those knees drawn in, but just let your arms come out in capital T position. So stretching them along on either side of the body. Then we'll find a little spinal twist. So keep the legs drawn together and let them fall to the right side to start. Good, so you can allow those legs all the way down to the floor, keeping them bent. And for the upper body, just make sure both shoulders are resting on the mat. Really feel that stretch through the chest and the shoulders. And look up towards the ceiling. Return to look over the left shoulder. If the gaze is over that left shoulder, slowly start to bring it back up to center. Then when you're ready, we'll use our abs and our core here to bring those knees back to where we started. Just pause here for a moment. And then keeping a bend in the legs, we'll let the knees fall to the left side this time. Now finding our twist on the opposite side, so checking with the upper body, making sure we've got our arms extended, shoulders pointing towards the roof. Then maybe just looking over the right shoulder this time. Now if you are looking over the right shoulder, slowly start to bring yourself back to center. When you're ready, draw those knees back up. Give yourself one more big hug here. And we'll come into our last pose before Shavasana. This is our happy baby pose, so keeping those legs bent. Reach the arms up. You can use these fingers to grab the big toes, or take the hands to the outside of the feet, really bending through the legs here. Again, you might want to find a bit of a sway from side to side. Take 2 more breaths. When you're ready, gently start to release the grip you have on your feet, and then bring your legs all the way down to the mat. Okay, we'll move into Shavasana here. This is our final relaxation pose. So just let everything sink into the ground. Stretch the legs out long, and the arms by your side, palms face up. Start to close your eyes if you're not there already. And then just notice where your body's still holding tension. So maybe through the brow, jaw. See if you can soften these areas. Allow the shoulders to melt. And let the hips soften and clench the glutes. Let your heels rest heavy, toes just turn out wherever they fall. Just let your whole body feel completely relaxed and released. Just enjoy these last few minutes here for yourself. Whenever you're ready to make your way out of Shavasana, nice and slow. We'll end our practice just how we started in a seated position, but take your time to get there. Then you roll on the side body. Keep the eyes closed here. And slowly, in your own time, when you're ready to come up, we'll find that comfortable cross-legged position. We'll take 3 final breaths all together here. Big inhale through the nose. Long, slow exhale. We'll take another breath in. Big exhale out. And with our last inhale, sweep the arms up and reach for the sky. Draw our palms together, exhale, hands on heart center. Great job, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for yoga tonight. I hope you feel relaxed and you have a good rest of your evening. We'll see you next time. Namaste.